So the lineup for this 5,000 metre ladies race: Alor Bain and Thomas of Carmarthen, Malin Liljestedt of Sweden, Lucy Elliott, Winchester, Susie Bush of Newbury, Joanne Maddock of Kingston upon Hull, Juliet Doyle of Charnwood, Louise Weicker of Sweden, Annie Bursagel of the United States, Holly Rush of Team Bath, Gemma Turtle of Gloucester, Mariette Falkman of the Netherlands, Hannah Whitmore of Charnwood, Elspeth Curran of Kilbarcan, and Addie Bracey of the USA. So that's the lineup for our 5K. And if anybody comes across a blue jacket, or you've picked one up by mistake, just check, and if you have, then hand it in at registration, please. So the pace of what we're looking for is 75 seconds for this each 400 metres. So Beth Potter doing the pace making.
For the next two
So as they come in front of us, Gemma Turtle of Gloucester, just behind the pacemaker, Hannah Whitmore of Charnwood, and the first of the Americans, Bursagel. And Bracey, the second American, just there in the back of that leading group. So I've gone through 800 metres, 2:30, so the pace bang on. 75's being 15 minutes 40 pace. There's only Lucy Elliott in the past who's been below that sort of time, so if we can keep this pace going, then we should be looking forward to some good times at the end of this race. Already 4 athletes, or down to 4 athletes.
I literally did it in time.
It's a slight gap to the Swedish athlete, Liljestedt. Her best 16:16, and then at the front of that leading group it's Juliet Doyle of Charnwood. So as we approach 1200 metres on schedule, we have a group of 4 athletes who are the leading protagonists. Maybe a gap of about 30 metres or so to the Swede, Liljestedt. And now Juliet Doyle trying to close on the Swedish athlete. Doyle just beginning to pull away from Elspeth Curran of Kilbarcan.
If you get in for be down, hopefully Lady will on there.
So it's still Gemma Turtle, the Gloucester athlete, best of 16:06. So it's a good pace for her, looking strong in these early stages, as is Hannah Whitmore. And the 2 Americans also in contention. So we've got a good battle there at the front, and indeed the pace not quick enough for Turtle. Trying to edge past Beth Potter. As we approach the 1 mile marker. we've got through in just outside 5 minutes. So the pace did just slow slightly on that 4th lap, which is probably why Turtle picked it up. Certainly the gap between the leading 4 and the chasing athletes has lengthened. Juliet Doyle closing on Lil Gistet. So Gemma Turtle it is. 8 laps to go. From Hannah Whitmore. Then it's Annie Bersigel of the USA. 16.05 this season. All-time best of 15.50. And in 4th place it's the 2nd American, Addie Bracey. Her best, 16.06. So it's a good pace being set for all these athletes here, and indeed it's Gemma Turtle pushing it on as they approach the 2,000 metre marker. And go through in 6.17. So just a couple of seconds outside that schedule. Juliet Doyle has gone into 5th place now, ahead of Lil Gistet. So Beth Potter's still doing this pacemaking, but Turtle in real close prominence there, looking confident. Whitmore tracking her all the way, and then the 2 Americans just behind them. And then in front of us it's Juliet Doyle now in 5th place, seasoned athlete. Hannah, I beg your pardon, Lil Gistet is there in 5th. And then we've got Holly Rush in the dark outfit. She's just ahead of the Dutch athletes, Mariette Falkman, with Elspeth Curran just behind her. And then it's Joanne Maddock. You've seen her sister run in that previous race. So as they come into the home straight, it will be halfway. So as the round about halfway, it's round about 7.55. So 15.50 pace is what we're on at the moment.
You made a puzzle back.
So still Beth Potter pacemaking. No change in the order at all over the last 3 or 4 laps. But still with a considerable lead from over Juliet Doyle. But remember, Gemma Turtle's best is 16.07, just under, so she's still well within personal best marks here. As are the 2 Americans. Well, certainly Bracey is within her personal best mark. The other 2 athletes have sort of run this sort of pace before. But if they keep this going, they're all within a chance of getting personal best as they come into the home straight. And they are certainly extending their lead over Juliet Doyle, so it could be a good sign there. 5 laps to go. Just over. And this is 3,000 metres gone now. 9.30. So she's picked up the pace, the pacemaker, and it's this is good to see. And Bracey goes into 3rd. Whitmore's now in 4th, so there are some slight changes there, but it is still Gemma Turtle following the pacemaker. And if they can dig in over these next couple of laps and use the pacemaker, then certainly we could see some clockings below that 16 metre mark. So, still on for 15.50 as they go through with the pacemaker dropping out. It's now down to these four athletes. Hannah Whitmore trying to stay with the leading three, just a slight gap now between her and Bracey. But it's still Gemma Turtle looking good. Into the sunshine. So 4 laps to go for Gemma Turtle, then it's Bersigel, then Bracey, then Whitmore, who's rallied a bit and she's still with that leading group. Good to see. Then it's Juliet Doyle. Hasn't run a 5k recently, but has done under 16 minutes in the past. Lil Gistet just paid for that early quick pace and now being closed down by Holly Rush. And Falkman just behind her, 16.18 her best. But back to the front, and things are beginning to change as the two Americans begin to push on. Bersigel and Bracey, so let's hope that Gemma Turtle and Hannah Whitmore can stay with them in the latter stages of this race. So it's just over 3 laps to go. And it's Annie Bersigel of the USA, best of 15.50. Then Addie Bracey, the best of 16.06. And just a slight gap now to Gemma Turtle and Hannah Whitmore. Juliet Doyle comes through in front of us now with just under 3 to go. Then a group of 3 athletes, Lil Gistet, Rush and Falkman. Then Joanne Maddock. Well, she's got a best of 16.51 and she's running well here, could be inside that sort of pace. Then it's Elspeth Curran, then Susie Bush of Newbury. Lucy Elliott still running magnificently. Louise Weicker of Sweden. A bigger. And in the meantime, in front of us, the 2 Americans now clear. And indeed, Annie Bersigel pushes it on with 800 metres to go. She's looking strong. With Turtle and Whitmore going through, less than 800 to go.
So is that going to be on the...
Now can Juliet Doyle close the gap on those 2 athletes? This is Falkman now who's taking it up, just ahead of Holly Rush. John Maddock trying to close the gap on those 3 athletes. No, she's possibly on for a good time. But in the meantime, as we look back down the home straight, Annie Bersigel of the USA will come into the home straight for the penultimate time. Just under 500 metres to go. So we'll get the time at the bell. So it's going to be around about 14.40 at the bell. So she needs a 72nd last lap to get a personal best. Give us some encouragement as she passes you. And certainly Addie Bracey as well at 16.06, she's well within that. And even Gemma Turtle, if she pushes on, could be close to it. Juliet Doyle goes through. takes the bell. Just over 200 metres to go for Bersigel. Really pushed on in this last lap or so. 40-50 metre lead now on a colleague. Falkman pushing on now from Rush and Lil Justet. Then it's Maddox still trying to close the gap. Maddox going through at 15:30. So she could still be in personal best territory. But in the meantime, do a round of encouragement here, a round of applause as well. Annie Bersigel. Maybe possibly just outside of PB, but it's been a great run. So she takes the 5k, 15:53. It'll be a personal best for Addie Bracey. Just outside the 16-minute marker. Then Gemma Turtle, under 16:10. And Hannah Whitmore. Juliet Doyle finishing strongly. Well under 16:20. And it's Maria Falkman here, the Dutch athlete. Lil Justet finishing strongly as well. Holly Rush, under 16:45.